What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3 Star Draw. I am Down South 77, and this here is an adult collector channel where we talk G.I. Joe, primarily classified, and every now and then we'll take a look at some other stuff I'm interested in as well. We're going to be talking G.I. Joe today, but we're not talking about classified. I wanted to do a video talking about something else in G.I. Joe that I am also a little bit interested in. Something controversial, something divisive. Well, I don't know if controversial is probably the right word, but divisive definitely is. I want to talk about the Super 7 Reaction Plus figures that just come out. Not breaking any new ground here. They've been out for a couple of months now, but they haven't really shown up just everywhere. The targets around me have gotten some of them. They haven't gotten many. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I like Super 7 stuff. Yeah, there, I feel better. Yeah, I do, but do I think that it is overpriced? Yeah, just a little bit. I like it. I like the reaction figures, but I don't like them for $20. I like them when I can pick them up on sale because the card art's awesome. They give us everything that Hasbro isn't. Cross sells on the back, file cards that are only in one language, and all of the stuff that we wish Hasbro would do with classified or with O-rings, but they're not going to do O-rings, so they passed it off to Super 7. Great. So the big sticking point with these figures was quality and price. Like, what were they going to cost? Everybody was freaking out because the reaction figures are $20 and these figures, who knew? So then when we found out they're going to be a $20 price point, that tells us one thing. With these, they are staying competitive because that is what a 3 3/4 O-ring articulated figure is going to cost thereabouts these days, $20 and up. And it also told us that the regular reactions are just a little bit overpriced because they're going to do these for 20. They're going to do the pluses for 20. So I don't feel like the 5 POA reaction figure should be 20 personally. So the ones that they announced that I have wanted to pick up were the Bat, Cobra Commander, Serpentor, and the main one that I want is Fatal Fluffy, because as we know, they do a lot of these figures based on what? On the cartoon. And I'm going to tell you something else. I love the G.I. Joe cartoon. The comic was not my only source of G.I. Joe. I grew up on the cartoon. There's a lot of people that didn't watch the cartoon. That's fine. And the old saying, if Larry Hama didn't write it, it ain't G.I. Joe. Not necessarily. I grew up with a mix, a blend of the two. I don't really see how you could be a fan. I was going to say a boy, but I know a lot of girl G.I. Joe fans. So a child fan of G.I. Joe and not enjoy the cartoon. I just don't see how that works. Evidently, there's people that did it. If it was on in your region, I realize it wasn't on everywhere. That people were able to catch the cartoon and they only got the comic. Those people get a pass. But the cartoon is a little more fantastical. It's a commercial for a toy. It's a 22-minute commercial for a toy that we were playing with. And a lot of that stuff was so fantastical and it just never got figures. And that's where Super 7 has stepped in and gave us some of the stuff that some of us have always wanted. So I want that Fatal Fluffy. And today, finally, I found the Fatal Fluffy in the wild. I could have ordered it online, but the Targets near me stocked these. Today, checked, and there was a Target near me that one of the ones that I usually go to when I go to Targets showed they had 3 of them in stock. I couldn't pick it up in store. I had to go look for it, so I went over there hoping they actually had them in stock, and I found all 3. They weren't on the peg. They were just laying on the shelf. But I did actually find all three, and they had Ramar too. But Serpentor, Bat, Cobra Commander, and the Fatal Fluffies are the ones that I wanted. Now, I will tell you guys, I have already picked up CoverGirl. I've got her open. I didn't do a video on her or anything. And no, I didn't mention CoverGirl as one of the ones that I wanted, but the toy store that I go to, Yojo Depot down in Hohenwald, Tennessee, Jay down there has a very good relationship with Super 7. He sells a lot of Super 7 stuff in his store. People down there, they like it. Like, he has a lot of Super 7 stuff in there. And he was telling me that he had a deal worked out with Super 7 where he gets in things that have damaged cards. Because we were talking about these, and he asked me, was I interested in picking them up? And I said, yeah, they're just, I think they're probably worth it at $20, but it's only certain ones that I want. And he mentioned that he has a deal with Super 7 because he has a lot of openers where he can get stuff at a better price. He gets a bulk price, and they just send him whatever because he sells it there. So basically, he got in some that had damaged cards, and I was able to pick CoverGirl up at a really good price because her card, I don't know if you can got this big crease there, and as we've talked about, as I've talked about, people buy these for wall hangers, for the art and whatever, and they look good when they're in a row or one here, whatever. They look great on a shelf with the reactions. So he gets a good deal on stuff with damaged cards. So I picked up the CoverGirl from him, and I also picked up the Bat. And you can see right there, the Bat's got this big nick in the card. And he had another Bat. He brought two of them out, and I couldn't even find anything wrong with that card on that one. So I took this one because I'm planning on opening it up anyway. I haven't gotten around to opening the Bat because I wanted to do a video on it. I'm like, do I really want to make a video on that? I'm still hunting the Fatal Fluffies. Got the Fatal Fluffy today, so why not do a video on both of them at one time? I know this is kind of been a really long intro to this, but this isn't really a review type video. This is just a thoughts type video. So I'm going to do what I always do, talk way too long in the beginning. Then I'm going to swap cameras and sit right over here, and we're going to open up the Fatal Fluffy and the Bat and just kind of check them out, and I'll tell you what I think about them, and I'll tell you what I think about CoverGirl too, because I mean, she's right here. I don't even have to open her.
Oh, how adorable. Oh, they're so cute.
I figured we'd just start off and go ahead and talk about CoverGirl since I do have her open. Card art, we got blonde CoverGirl here, so was actually able to get this bubble off without tearing it up too bad. Much as I like to hang these cards up, I'm not going to hang these up because, well, you see. So this is what we get on CoverGirl. Cross sell on the back, as I mentioned, file card. And this is the G.I. Joe experience right here. I love my classified, man, but this needs to be on the back of the box. So all she does come with is she does come with the cartoon laser rifle, and it's in a gray. Looks decent. I mean, it is what it is. Come on, it looks all right. You can tell what it is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her O-ring, and they do have above the elbow swivel. Rivets are not painted on these. And then you do have, what you expect out of a O-ring figure. Hey, that's how she got her name. She's on the cover. Green boots. Not going to go into a bunch of detailed, going over the sculpt work, all that stuff. I think they look good. Metal screws, metal rivets, metal screws inside the legs. Plenty of detail on it for a 3 3/4 figure based on the cartoon look. Open collar there. Now I gotta say, I like redhead auburn CoverGirl better than blonde CoverGirl. Made no secrets about that or anything. Now this face sculpt on her, she has dead eyes. Like there's no way around it. You can't unsee it. Her eyes are black. They're black. She's a succubus. I don't know. The face looks good except for the eyes. I think it looks fine. Flesh tone looks fine on her. I just can't get over the eyes on this figure. This is not one that I was gonna pick up, except I was able to get really good price on her, and I was gonna open her anyway. Don't hold the weapon really well. Like she can hold it. No, they don't have wrist swivel. That's the one problem. They don't have wrist and they don't have ankle swivel, so it's not completely modern construction on these guys. I wish they had thrown in wrist swivel, but I think for $20, I don't feel like I've been ripped off with this figure for $20. It has a window package. I see what I'm getting before I open it. I know what it is. With the construction, like they feel good. They don't feel cheap. As you can see, I've got some dreadnoughts out, and this is mainly for the Fatal Fluffies. These are not Super 7 dreadnoughts. These are the Hasbro 25th anniversary dreadnoughts that were a gift from my buddy Berserker's brush. So I don't really feel ripped off with this figure. So I can complain about not liking the eyes, but I saw the eyes before I bought it. I knew what it looked like. I feel like this is a pretty solid value for this figure. Everybody might not feel that way, but if this was the reaction, the O-ring, non-articulated one, I wouldn't have felt that way, but I also wouldn't be buying them at $20. Now, this guy here, friend of mine, Lawrence from A Punk with Toys, he has some strong feelings about Super 7. And he does not care for them, but he does like their line of like their one-offs, like their band figures, because you're never going to get a figure so obscure from anywhere else. So he makes a concession for something like that he's not going to find anywhere else for the reaction figures. And he's not getting any of the other ones, the basic ones or whatever. And that's fine. But if you're looking for one-off things from obscure properties, it is the only place you're really going to find, a figure of that. So that's even somebody that has really strong feelings against them even has found something to like within some of the things that they produce. So it's not all bad. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the bat. I'm going to go ahead and open him up. I'm not going to show that. We're just going to get him off the card and we'll check him out. Oh, I did want to show that even on the package here, just like what we used to get on the Hasbro Real American Hero figures, got the stuff that they come with over here on the side. I missed that detail on what you're getting. And I was opening them up and I wanted to show that because I'm going to rip it getting out of the package. All right, with your backpack does come on him. He's in here. This is beside him, and it's all very nicely packaged in these trays. So, I mean, you get your money on presentation with these guys. There's no denying that. So, card back, same for the bat, except we've got. Oh no, it is the same. That's right. It is the same wave. Oh, we got more figures. That's on him. Same thing. Back card for the bat. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. It does come with your standard bat attachments. You got your claw. You scared of the claw. Then you got your flamethrower. These were always my two favorite bat attachments. Always have been, always will be. Then he does come with the laser cannon. Some people thought it was a drill. You make it whatever you want, I guess, but it's a laser cannon. Then he comes with this ridiculously oversized SMG. I don't really know why the bat comes with an SMG, but even the classified one came with the handgun. And this thing actually does look really good. It's in this nice silver. And now it's on the floor, because of course it is. All right, there we go. Not a review unless something hits the floor. It does have some pretty decent looking sculpt work on it. It's a lot better than CoverGirl's XMLR. So I do like this. Kind of like a MP5 or something. But it's really, really big. So let's go ahead and look at this dude. You got your comic blue bat. I think this figure looks really, really good. He feels really good. Backpack plastic sounds a little, it sounds a little flimsy, but I mean, it's not moving or anything. He does come with the backpack on in the package. Go ahead and look at that. Got a little bit of detail on there. So these guys are somewhere between a whole lot more detail and just about as much detail as some of your Real American Hero figures. So no lenticular. This is all sculpted in and painted here on his inner workings. Got his grenade, got all his orange harness and web gear. A little pouch over here. Same thing over on the back. I do like the blue. I do not have the Ultimates version of this. I do have the regular Ultimates bat. Should have grabbed it and put it down here, but too late now. This guy's got some really good sculpt work, really good paint work on this figure. I mean, I'm digging it. They don't have up and down. I forgot to mention that with CoverGirl. No up and down on the head. And you get wrist swivel with the bat, though, don't you? So hand comes off nice and easy. Blue peg under there. It's blue. And it goes on really tightly, but goes on. Looks good. And I always usually leave one hand on the bat. Because, I mean, how else are they going to get swap attachments if they don't have one hand on? So, there we go. Got his claw. Got his flamethrower. So, I like this figure. It does not feel cheap to me. That's a complaint with the Ultimates is the plastic on the Ultimates, people think, feels rather flimsy. And they're not wrong. I don't think they're wrong. Some are better than others. That's what I don't get about the Ultimates. Some of them feel just fine. Some of them do feel pretty flimsy. But I don't get that with the plastic here. You can tell it is not the same type of plastic from Real American Hero, but it doesn't feel cheap. That's the best way. So this does look a little better in his hand. It's still about, I don't know, close to twice the size that it needs to be. But I do like with this collapsible type stock on here, you can get the whole thing in his hand and get kind of a decent pose with it. So the bat for me is a win. I'm gonna take that bat. I like that bat. I might even get a couple of the bats. And I do not collect. Remember them? Man, remember them crosshairs pegs on the backpacks? We need them back, Hasbro. So, I don't remember what I was saying before then. Oh yeah, I do not collect 3 3/4 stuff. I still have my 3 3/4 Real American Hero Joes from when I was a kid. I've got all my surviving ones. I've bought very few over the years. I bought a few to replace the copies that I have from a kid that are kind of beat up. He is kind of off kilter standing. I don't know if it's what's throwing him off. It's like this foot here seems like it's longer or angled differently. He was standing before I put all the stuff on him. So yeah, that foot is a little, not quite touching there. That's weird. He will stand. I'll have to mess around with him a little bit, but if he falls, he falls. He fell. All right, so I don't really collect 3 3/4 stuff. I've replaced some of my Real American Hero figures with better copies, but they're kept separately. It's just because I like that figure so much, I wanted a different, a better version of what survived childhood. So here on the back of the Fatal Fluffy, you got the first 4, then you got the Joe Fest, Tomax and Zaymont 2-pack, which I saw the prototypes of. I don't have these, I didn't order them, but I saw the prototypes at Joe Fest. Not a fan of the way the faces come out on them, but I probably will wind up picking them up because I've always wanted Tomax and Zaymod in suits, and you know, Hasbro ain't doing it. There's our Fatal Fluffy, there's our Serpentor, there's our Ramar, which they also had Ramar. I just wasn't a huge Ramar fan, and I buy classified, so these are kind of a, you know, a extra. Like, I'm not going to buy all of these. And then you got Duke, which I've also seen. Duke looks pretty good. And if they wind up with Duke at Yojo Depot with the damaged card, I'll probably get Duke too. But this is the star of the show for me. I've been looking forward to these guys here, so go ahead and open him up. Didn't do quite as good with that bubble as I did on the other ones. So Fatal Fluffy, Cobra Beast, and then he does come with Cobra Blaster, Pistol, and Whip. He's going to whip it good. All right, let's check this dude out because I've been waiting 40 years-ish to have this figure in some form. So Pyramid of Darkness is by far the worst of the Joe miniseries. It's the most ridiculous, I think. And it's just, there's so much ridiculousness in it. It's so cheesy. That's why I have the Dreadnoks out. And that's why I have this awesome Cobra Escape Pack that my cousin got me for Christmas, I think, a couple of years ago. It's so ridiculous. And when else are you going to get these figures? I'd probably buy this 3-pack in classified, honestly. I mean, but it's so fantastical. It's so cheesy. You can't not like it if you were a fan of the cartoon. Don't mean it had to be your favorite. And as you see, got Zartan back here with the whistle, because that is what transformed these guys from the cute little funny things that looked like Glomer into the Cobra Beasts. And I did want to read or show you the file card here. You can pause on that if you want to read it. Genetically engineered by Cobra to assume seemingly innocent appearances, but with the silent sound of a special whistle, the Fluffies' true forms are revealed. I love that. So that's why I grabbed Zartan, and he has a whistle ready to transform these guys into terrorizing my shelves.
What he means is this.
There. I would have liked to get the little ones that look like demonic guinea pigs, like the little Glomers. I would have liked to come with, even if it was just like a stationary, non-articulated little statue, I would have liked to have gotten that with this guy. But I mean, look at the difference in size and amount of plastic. Like, they really are, for a 3 3/4 figure, they are way taller. This dude's an inch taller probably. So they look really good. Sculpt work on this guy. So this is the one we are going to actually kind of review. Got the elbow articulation, got the bend, got the swivel. No swivel at the feet. And he does not have, doesn't seem to have metal or anything down here on the screws. Oh, he's got them on the inside of the thighs. So O-ring there. I think this thing looks really, really good. Look at the face. The eyes aren't, they're centered, but they're like, you know, the irises are kicked out at the corners, but they're supposed to be that way. He's got the little horns up here, man. Let's check him out from the back. Looks like Lobo or something from the back. He does look like Lobo from the back. Damn. And then down here, he's got them boots with the fur. I just think it's sculpted really nicely. And he's got this Cobra laser pistol that they had in the cartoons. The cartoon, it's really tight going in there. Whew. Man, but I mean, it does go in there. I'm kind of, okay, I'm saying I'm a little hesitant to push it down anymore, but it does go. He does hold it. getting ready to pop a laser cap. Look, like playing with my money, playing with my emotions. That's how I want him holding it on the shelf. Like, what's up now, Zartan? And he does come with his whip. Gotta have the whip. More work. Gotta have that. See if the whip will go in his hand. Man, it's really, really tough getting it in there. The plastic is more flexible on the hands. Maybe we can just push it in that way. That's how it's meant to go. Just push it in between the thumb. So he's actually got this thing getting ready to whip it good. Let's turn it. Need turning it so all the... There we go. Get ready to pull a Indiana Jones on Dusty and Mutt. He does stand pretty well, which is a good thing, because if he had the same problem the Bat had, you're not gonna do what you can do with classified with these guys. There's no ankle rockers, so they're pretty much just gonna be standing straight up. You can probably bend them a little bit, get a little bit out of them. You got these crazy goat feet. Oh man. So there's the Fatal Fluffy. I'm digging this. It was only $20. There was some kind of discrepancies on were they going to be 20 or 25 for him and Ramar. They were 20 at Target. So I do really like this guy. I would like to get another one. I don't know if it's something I would spend $20 to have another one. I think it'd be cool to have 2 or 3 of them. But if I can get them on clearance, or maybe if Jay gets some in with damaged cards, I might pick another 1 or 2 up. But there you go. There's the Fatal Fluffy. If you're into these and you want some of these newer Joe O-rings, I think they're worth $20, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And they're not like the regular reactions, as I mentioned. Like you can open these, you can pose them, you can play with them. They do everything. Well, okay, not that these do, but everything your Real American Hero figures can do, except really look up and down. That's really the only negative. That and the wrist swivel, but you don't really need it with these, do you? I mean, something that's a more specialized, truly modern figure this scale, like Delta 17, yeah, those guys probably need wrist swivels. But with these, I don't think we need it. So there's just kind of my thoughts on them. Will I pick some more of these up? Yeah, depending on who they make. I do want to get Serpentor, but I've seen him quite a few times. I'm sure he's going to be marked down at some point. So we'll see. We'll see what they come out with. I think they're selling well. So I'm excited to see what they can do with these. Maybe we can get the O-ring version of the blind man that helped Snake Eyes. Maybe we can get General Admiral Ledger and Colonel Sharp. Maybe we can get some of those guys. I would buy a command pack of these with some of the generals in the brass, all of the people that the Baroness disguised herself as to fool G.I. Joe. Like, I mean, Baroness was the best spy ever, because they always fell for it, didn't they? Anyway, all right, let me talk about this all night. There they are. There's Bat, Fatal Fluffy, CoverGirl, Super 7, Reaction Plus, O-rings. I'm digging them. I ain't all in. I'm not buying every single one of them or anything, but I will pick up a select few because I like some Super 7 stuff. Guys, if you like this, I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe, all that good stuff that everybody tells you to do at the end of the video or at the beginning if they actually remember. And I will see you guys next time on 3-Star Draw.